Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone, wherever in the world you may be joining us from today. My name is Francesco Del Carpio, and I am the CFL York Operations Coordinator. I would like to officially open the fourth session of the Nurses' Voices speaker series. Today's session focuses on nurses' voices from the Western Pacific. The series is being presented in partnership with the Nightingale Initiative for Global Health, and I would like to begin today's session with a land acknowledgement. We acknowledge and recognize that many Indigenous nations have longstanding relationships with the territory upon which our campuses are located that precede the establishment of York University. The area is known as Tekaronto and has been caretaken by the Anishinaabe Nation, the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, and the Huron-Wendat. It is now home to many First Nation, Inuit, and Métis communities. We acknowledge the current treaty holders, the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation. The territory is subject to the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Belt Covenant, an agreement to peaceably share and care for the Great Lakes region. As this is an online event and our participants may be joining from various locations, I strongly encourage you to learn about the traditional land upon which you are located. And with this, I welcome our moderator, our speakers, and our participants from around the world. Welcome to our webinar. Without further ado, it is my great pleasure to introduce our moderator for today, Dr. Maria Theresa Panizales, or Tess, who is on the board of directors at the Nightingale Initiative for Global Health and serves as their Tagalog Filipino language advisor. For the sake of time, Dr. Panizales' full bio and the bios of all of today's speakers will be posted in the chat. Dr. Panizales, thank you very much for moderating today's session and for all of your work in helping put this session together. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Francesco, and thank you so much for Unitar CFL, for partnering with us in this, major event, especially covering our Western Pacific areas. So before I start, I would just like to read a disclaimer. NI was granted by the team Stan Walker of Management Aki Aki Limited to show Stan's I Am video only during the NI Nurses Voices Speaker Series Session 4 for the purpose of enhancing the discussion on the importance of being heard and cared. Later on, you will also see another video. West Visayas State University Student Nurses Association of the Philippines, through their chairperson, Lara Nicole Theologo, and their advisors, has likewise shared their video during this event, and this will be available as part of the recording. So here we are, session 4. Again, good morning, good evening. I don't know what else is good, but everything is good, and we are all here, and really nice, honored to have you all join us, especially our esteemed panelists. So it's going to be a winter wonderland from my end here because we have a winter storm, a nor'easter at that. So I'm seeing and I'm hearing, from my weather app that we are expecting 8 to 12 inches of snow at this time to tonight. But I am glad that I am warmed by all of you as we put forth an energetic and a passion-filled discussion about us, nurses. Who else, right? It is a profession that continues to garner the top echelon among all professionals for trust per Press Gaining survey in the past several years. What does that mean to nursing? We are the pillars that makes the difference in healthcare. Without nurses, there's no hospital, truly. In the health of our nations, and yes, globally. How we do it and why we do it is a mystery that unfolds by itself when we commune with the ones we cared for. As we care for our community, our colleagues, we want to channel this back to ourselves. Only then can we thrive as a profession. We are nurses. We want our voices to be heard. Think about it. So as we transition to one of our panelists sharing a powerful music video, I would like to quote her statement. When I know who I am, and when I know where I belong, I am therefore well. Please, Anna Eichmann, who will be sharing with us the music video I Am and her perspective.
Kia ora and good morning from New Zealand. Thank you very much, Tess, for a beautiful welcoming opening. I would like to segue into Stan Walker's music video, I Am. You may have seen this, or the movie may have already started in the States, I think, Origin by Ava DuVernay. And Stan Walker has a music score for this. Stan Walker is a Māori Tāne, a Māori man from New Zealand, Indigenous, and he opens with this beautiful Waiata song, I Am, and the importance of identity. And I will speak to that more afterwards. Thank you very much, Tess. Thank you, Francesco.
Of course, I'll get the video going in just a second.
Thank you, Anna. To Stan Walker's lyrics, we are the color found in spring. You are the wind, breath into me. You inherit me. I inherit you. I am the language. You speak to me. How can we stand by? Which is the question that took me a little bit aback, before we start this session. How can we stand by for you, me, our global community? We have now set our stage, so again, welcome. And I would like to, once again, welcome everybody who's with us, joining us, sharing their time. And as we start, we will have our keynote speaker. She is the former 2018-2022 World Health Organization Chief Nursing Officer. She led WHO through its very first State of the World Nursing Report in 2020 and oversaw the designation of the International Year of the Nurse and Midwife in the same year. As the world's most senior nurse during the global coronavirus pandemic, she supported the development of the WHO Global Strategic Directions for Nursing and Midwifery for 2021 to 25. She is from Cook Islands. She was the Secretary of Health since 2012 to 2017. The first nurse, midwife, and woman to be appointed in this role. And during that period, she put a priority into looking at the national health strategic plans for their country, and at the same time, the National Health Roadmap, which will take them from 2017 to 2036. Such visionary leader we have. She was trained in New Zealand as a nurse and a midwife, and holds a Master of Health Sciences in Nursing and an MBA. And she has held various nursing roles: Chief Nursing Officer, Registrar of the Nursing Council, as well as President of the Cook Islands Nurse Association. Ladies and gentlemen, we have with us Ms. Elizabeth Ero.
Thank you very much, Tess. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone who have joined us for this session this morning from all around the globe. It's really great to be a part of this Nurses' Voice from the Western Pacific. Greetings also to my fellow panelists. I think it looks like a really exciting group of speakers coming up. And I want to also acknowledge the hosts and sponsors, the United Nations Institute for Training and Research, UNITA, and the York Centre for Training at York University in Toronto, Canada, and also the Nightingale Initiative for Global Health. Thank you for this very excellent initiative. Storytelling is such a powerful medium to capture personal and professional life that each one has walked through, reflecting on their commitments, compassion, care, their courage, the resilience, and of course also recognizing our own vulnerabilities. The recognition of the value of these stories bring to our profession is invaluable, and I thank the sponsors for recognizing this through this Nurses' Voices series. I'm sure as we hear the stories of these nurses' amazing work emerging from the different experiences and different backgrounds and their realities, it will move us. It will be powerful. And I think just as I have felt the introduction video you just played was so powerful, it's just, it actually did resonate quite a bit in my preparation for my short summary of perhaps a reflection on my early career as a nurse. So thank you very much for that. I just feel very grounded with that start to the session. Now, if I can perhaps go back to my profession, very early career started really upon completion of nursing training in New Zealand over 30 years ago. I have worked as a registered nurse and also as a midwife in both New Zealand and the Cook Islands public health systems. Nursing to me offered opportunities to travel, to work, secured in the knowledge that I could get a job anywhere. That's at the very, very early start of my career. However, a life and career changing moment for me was returning to my home island, the Cook Islands, in 1995. I felt a strong need to reconnect with my family, a spiritual life, my culture, and the people of the Cook Islands. While incentives can encourage our people to return home, being immersed in our Cook Islands language, our culture and values creates a sense of belonging that can draw on the hearts of our people to return and contribute to our country's development. We have over 100,000 people, 100,000 Cook Islanders living in New Zealand and Australia. This is also a very similar story for many of our small islands development states in the Pacific. And so you can understand how I'm really feeling the introduction Waiata from Stan Walker. So nursing for me from then on was about how can I make a difference to the lives of the people I cared for, reminding me of a New Zealand Maori proverb that goes like this. E a te mea nui o te ao, e tangata, e tangata, e tangata. What is the most important thing in the world? It is the people, the people, the people. So working as a nurse midwife was most enjoyable in my career and yet very frustrating. But that frustration gave me the passion and the drive to make changes to the work environment and the lives of the people I was looking after. On reflection, it is about paying close attention to advancements in healthcare and understanding how new approaches to care can improve patient outcomes and facilitate better experiences. These included procedural changes to how things were done based on evidence. I guess you could say I learned very early I could make changes through policy options and influencing, collaborating with the medical and allied health professionals I worked with for the value add. Challenges for many countries have included educating and recruiting staff with the right skill mix to meet healthcare needs, retaining staff, and especially those who have benefited from significant professional development, and providing access to healthcare services in remote setting and islands, especially where emergency care is required. Although we encourage countries to grow their own nursing and midwifery workforce, migration of nurses and midwives from many of our small island development states in the Pacific to high-income countries is a concern. Even though Pacific Islands trained nurses and midwives form a small share of the total stock of foreign trained nurses and midwives in high-income countries, their loss is important to their countries of origin because populations are smaller and local capacity for training and growing their own is constrained. Which causes me to ask obligations of, to ask what is the obligations of high-income countries to be investing in the training of nurses in the Pacific Islands, especially the small island development states, as the loss of one nurse through migration is very significant for sustaining the well-being of the population of the source country. Should we be looking at reorienting education towards primary health care, emergency preparedness and response, interprofessional education, and ensuring digital health literacy of graduates in our Western Pacific region? The COVID-19 pandemic highlighted for us the key roles of nurses in providing healthcare services, and countries may wish to expand on the production of nurses at the advanced practice nursing level, because we saw the benefits of advanced nursing practice, especially in the rural and remote area settings. Although we have an obligation to provide quality care that is respectful, compassionate, meaningful, and provided with dignity for the women, men, newborns, children, adolescents, and families and communities we care for, nurses leaving the profession or leaving the country is a major concern, as this contributes to the shortage and impacts negatively on the quality of care, increasing the workload for the remaining staff and increasing costs for the health ministry in its recruitment process. We know that when the work environment is unsafe and problematic and workload is too high or unsustainable, it can adversely affect retention and the quality of care, leading to medical errors, absenteeism, nurse burnout, and mental stress. Healthcare services that fall short of quality care results in wasted resources and also fall short of us making a difference in the health of our people, and will also fall short of achieving the health targets of our country's universal health coverage and the Sustainable Development Goals. So as we endeavor to concentrate on our local and national strategies to address these challenges, it is important to recognize that global health issues is inseparable from local health concerns. The COVID pandemic showed us how quickly it spread around the world and how each country's action or lack of action impacted on well-being of others around the globe. This is important to keep in mind when developing policies and strategies. And more importantly, to be visible and effective as nursing leaders, we must be a part of the policy and decision-making in our countries. The WHO's Strategic Direction for Nursing and Midwifery 2021-2025 policy options remains relevant for advancing the challenges around education, jobs, service delivery, and leadership. The benefits and importance of supporting your nursing and midwifery workforce and investing in their education, providing adequate remuneration and decent work conditions, countries can achieve the triple impact of improving health, promoting gender equality, and supporting economic growth. I thank you.
Thank you so much. Indeed, local is global. So we will transition to our next speaker, and that is Ms. Anna Eichmann. Anna is actually passionate about empowering transformational change. Anna utilizes both the integrative nurse coach and Maori worldview perspectives to address barriers to health equity, belongings, and self-determination. Her hope is to inspire communities towards flourishing futures. Pae ora. Anna role models a trauma-informed, value-based, relational, and mindful leadership approach to wellness. She is a registered nurse of 48 years and cuts across healthcare in multiple arenas. So she currently works at Arohuenua Wana'u Services and Temuka in Project Mahi. Thank you, Anna.
Kia ora, Tess. Acknowledgements to you, Elizabeth. Thank you very much for your kōrero, for your presentation. Lovely to see that you're just over there in the Southern Hemisphere. Thank you, Tess. So just continuing on, I would like to first acknowledge, before I do my my introduction on who I am, so I Am by Stan Walker. When I first heard that Waiata, that beautiful song with such depth about the importance of who am I and what does identity mean, and that search for identity, I was really impacted by it. So I contacted the Stan Walker team to see if I could, it was such a precious treasure, to see if I could use this taonga, this gift, as part of this presentation. So they gave me permission to use this. I feel very grateful for the team for being able to do so, as we now know that this is a worldwide, I guess like it's a phenomenon, 2024 change that is happening around the world, and certainly with the movie Origin that I Am is the score to. So thank you, Stan Walker and the team, and thank you for the team here today, and for all of you that are listening today to be part of this presentation as we share the voices from the Western Pacific. So ko waio, who am I? So I am a registered nurse, yes, of many years through multiple arenas, and currently in the last few years have been working in that transformational change space, mainly working on collaborative design. What does that look like for mental health and addiction? But we know that that's just part of the picture of health and well-being. So I always look at a whole of system approach to well-being. And why I wanted to use Stan Walker's song I Am is because I wanted to be able to share some Māori worldviews with you of why it's so important about identity. And when we engage with others in health, how often do we really sit down and listen and find out who someone is and seek to understand? And sometimes we don't even know who we are. So the whole path for Māori is about the first things we do, we introduce ourselves. And when we introduce ourselves, we introduce where we came from, ancestrally, where we go back to our creation stories, how we connect the stars and the mountains and the rivers and our old homes that we had in the past. We link right back to those original connections. So it's very much about a blood narrative and how we connect through those. And the principles, the key principles around that is how do we build the relationships, the importance of building trusting relationships and getting to know each other, and how do we offer a generosity of spirit. And so the key things are around respect and reciprocity, getting to know each other, having a conversation, and seeking to understand. So when Stan was talking about I Am, he spoke around really the interconnectedness of all things. And he talked about the rivers and the rivers and the streams and how we are all part of the waters. So from an Indigenous Māori point of view, we are all part of everything and nothing is separate. Everything is interconnected. So the way that we see the world is in that wholeness. And how do we look after the wholeness? How do we look after our rivers? How do we look after ourselves? So when we have a place to stand where we can voice and we know that we're connected to Mother Earth, Papatūānuku, we can raise our hands to Sky Father, Rangi Nui, then we have a place to stand and we know where we're connected, we know where we belong, we can locate ourselves in the universe, and that helps us stand strong to who we are. And it is the essence and the elements of what it means to be alive, I feel. So my focus sits around that when I work on work in the transformational change space, about finding out about others, about the relationships that we have. And I spend a lot of time in that space to really understand other people's points of view, so that when moving forward with change or maybe change elements, that everyone's story and everyone's lived experience becomes part of that. And through that, we can have an interconnected and interrelated world. So an Indigenous Māori point of view is about everything that we do has a cause and effect. Everything that we do has a connection. So if we look after Mother Earth, we can look after ourselves, we can look after our future generations. And that whole sense of belonging. And when we are disconnected, we often find that we lose our way, etc. But the importance of belonging and finding out who we are through finding out more about our lineage, to find out more about who we are inside, then, you know, what does it mean for me, for example, to be me? It means, and I guess if I answer that question to myself, it's important for me that I do sit from a caring with heart space, that I do sit with a listening ear, and that I am present with the people that I work with. I would also like to acknowledge I trained in New York in 2013 as an integrative nurse coach, and then a little bit later on became an advanced integrative nurse coach with the Integrative Nurse Coach Academy. And those skills and those nurse coaching processes have held me in really good stead. And I found that I can utilize my Māori perspectives and the nurse coaching processes really well together to help others on their journey of well-being. So as I just would also like to acknowledge, yes, beautiful proverb that Elizabeth shared. It is about the people, the people, the people. This is the most important thing. And our economy is the art of giving. It's called manaki, that generosity of spirits. And when we can give to others, then we have a respect and a reciprocity between each other. So my hope is that for the future is that we can empower others, that we believe that relationships do matter, how we lead in mindful spaces matter, to be able to dream, to hope, to realize one's potential towards self-determining and flourishing and thriving futures for everyone. And as I think again about the beautiful song we've just heard from Stan Walker, I Am, I think the really key things are the ability to be me, the ability to be you, the ability for us to be together. And as we join in and we understand our origins and our lineage and who we are, to stand proudly in our and celebrate our diversities, then we can actually reach a global health on an equitable outcome and thriving. So te hei mauri ora, breathe in the breath of life. May we all travel well. Thank you very much for your time. Kia ora.
Anna, that's lovely. Thank you so much for being able to connect from Elizabeth, you know, that word people, we go back to people. And then you mentioned interconnectedness, the wholeness, and valuing each other's experience and being. Yes, listening. Yes. Listening from within and without. Thank you, Anne. So as we move into our next panelist, we have Megumi Teshima, who is representing Japan on the board of directors of the International Council of Nurses, a professor at the Graduate School of Nursing at Chiba University, where she also served as Associate Dean from 2011 to 2021, as well as on the adjunct faculty for Tokyo GK Medical University Graduate School of Nursing from 2013 to the present. 2020 World Health Organization International Year of the Nurse, Professor Teshima was a featured speaker at the Nursing Now Forum in Japan, Creating the Future by the Power of Nursing. Her specialty include a whole lot, plethora of management, nursing ethics, also with regards to organizational development, palliative care. And at the same time, she's so involved with the Nursing Ethics Council on the Medical Ethics Council of Japan's Ministry of Health, Labor, and Welfare from 2005 to 2014. She's been awarded numerous funding grants, and the most recent include as a primary investigator for applying nursing standards in nursing basic education from 2018 to 2020, and for the evaluation of the Sustainable Development Goals, which is dear and true to our heart, for continuing nursing education from 2021 to 2024, both from Japan's Ministry of Education, Culture, Sports, Science, and Technology. Her achievement awards include the President Award of the Japanese Nursing Association in 2023 and as an honorary member of the Mongolian Nurses Association in 2022. Please welcome Professor Megumi Teshima.
Thank you, Tess, and thank you for having me as a panel. I brought my company tonight. This is a beckoning cat made Kutani porcelain, and also my favorite pin, Wajima lacquer. I would like to share my slides. Why nothing? Noto Peninsula earthquake had occurred January 1st. January 1st is a special day for Japanese people. Oshogatsu, we celebrate January 1st. Family come together, but in the middle of the day, 4 p.m., maximum intensity 7 had happened. Kanazawa University Hospital dispatched at the DMAT. However, the road was destroyed and then they need to return. There are several systems to deliver the support. The one is a National Center. Ministry of Health asked to National Center. There are 6 National Centers in Japan delivered to the support. The nurses need to bring their own food and water and syrup, and they are staying in the syrup. The 3 weeks later, they have a tent. And they provide care not only for patients, but also the staff nurses over there could be secured. And then they try to brush up that the people, the staff member can apply the care. And those are the groups. As I mentioned, not only the patient, but also those nurses provide a support for patient, not only the patient, provide a support for nurses who also the victim of earthquake, and then they are evacuated from their houses. On the right side, they are communicate with the main department, and then communicate the nurse, director of nursing. In addition, Japanese Nursing Association had their own system, disaster relief nurse. Japanese President Hiroe Takahashi mentioned disaster relief nurse, they have a particular skill and capability, response to very flexible. The reason because they continue to improve competency on regular basis. So Hiroe Takahashi really admire them. I would like to bring my slide. It was from University Hospital, Kanazawa University Hospital, Director of Nursing, Chika Tsuji, sent me. They try to welcoming their patient. And this is a photo in front of that hospital. And also the director pick up some voices from their nurses. And what they said, I would like to introduce their story. I noticed that the nurse noticed that the pediatric patients were painful, were not express their painful feeling. And when they therefore the nurse, as much as possible, the nurse stay with them, and their sound of getting cheerful at pediatrics, at the children, the sound of getting cheerful. In the dialysis room, the nurse realized the patient had a stiff face and cold hand. Then the nurse massaged a patient with a hot towel. Gradually, he began to talk with me. So being close by produced peace of mind, facilitate the strength to live. I engaged that revised that code of ethics for ICN, and interestingly enough, more than 10 committee members were there and asking, what is the core value of nursing? And most of them, 10 people, said compassion, care, and dignity, and respect. And it was very interesting. So the core value is anywhere, anytime, the care, empathy, compassion, and respect the patient or respect nurses and respect colleagues. This photo came from the president of Ishikawa Prefecture Nursing Association, Mikie Kofuji. She sent me a poem, but I asked her, Mikie Kofuji, why nursing? And she sent me this poem, a lotus flower blooming in the bottomless cows and the dizziness in challenges. A nursing profession that protect their lives and their livelihood by being aware of a smile on its face. We also had an earthquake. Every 10 years, we have an earthquake in Tohoku area. This person, Yumi Horiuchi, is a leader in the local area, and she sent me this description because I'm asking her why nursing. What she said is being close by, the technical skill of the nursing hands, and appropriateness of judging that situation. I think all these are required during that earthquake. Disasters that may occur at any time, anywhere, believing that the power of nursing will help those same people to survive. Nurses who are also victims of disaster are trying to fulfill their mission because they believe it is their calling. While we are communicating each other, including Tess, what I recall is nursing is as a beam. The beam, there are so many definitions. I didn't realize that the particular third one, a beam, a line of light, and a line of light and energy. And the third one, a wide, happy smile. As I show you the photos, it is very, but it said, it is very hard to say now. Okay, sorry. As we have found that the people are reassured to encourage the presence of nurse and their smile and find meaning in their own life. Because of nurse is there, they feel secure. As you can see from the photos, nurse support that the pillar of security of health, and nursing support people's health not only during the acute phase of the disaster, but also throughout their lives until they are able to live in the community again. As a leader and ICN board member, I would like to convey to society that we nurses have such an important job or important role and ensure the well-being nurses so that their smile will not disappear. I would like to acknowledge those people who send me voices and photos. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. It is beautiful to hear from all our colleagues from Japan, and you being able, Professor, you're being able to collate all these informations together and bring it back to the table here in our discussion. So yes, beam of light, we are with everything that we do, and I like that it's associated with that smile that is brought forth to the people that we care for, beyond the bottomless, quote unquote, chaos that was mentioned. And yeah, that smile persists, with compassion, with dignity, with respect and care all along. Thank you so much. Now we will proceed to our next panelist, Dr. Pearl Ed Cuevas. She is a distinguished nursing educator and research coordinator at Centro Escolar University School of Nursing in their PhD program. She has been recently recognized as the distinguished educator in gerontological nursing excellence, and was an international visiting scholar at the Johns Hopkins School of Nursing in Baltimore in 2019. She received her master's degree in medical anthropology as well in 2021, and a Doctor of Philosophy in Nursing in 2014 from the University of the Philippines. She was actually there when we were at COS Switzerland as one of our collaborators with the Nightingale Initiative for Global Health during the Nurses Voices Grassroots Global Campaign. And she did share her perspective during that time. And just to plug in, she and I, together with other 3 Filipino colleagues, collaborated to come up, to write a book about being a nurse, from the time we conceived that we want to be a nurse until the time that we are all nurses wherever we were, at that point of time in our career. So, Pearl?
Thank you, Tess. To add to that, Tess is a dear friend. We actually met at the Global Nursing, Sigma's, one of Sigma's conferences, and then we actually, of course, wrote a book together. It's been a wonderful experience to be friends with Tess and to be here with all of you. Greetings to all our nursing leaders from the different parts of the world. Let me also share my slide. There you go. So let me share my slide from the beginning. So thank you for this opportunity to present at the Nurses Voice Speaker Series. Yes, I was with the first NIGH launch in Switzerland. It is indeed an honor to be the voice for nurses. So who am I? I am actually currently working as faculty of pre-board and graduate nurses at a university in Manila, Philippines. I actually teach student nurses that they will not regret taking the nursing course because nursing is a life skill. I remind them always that whether they become a professional nurse or not, they will always practice nursing. Truly, this is the meaning and purpose of my nursing practice. I see nursing practice as a skill that helps me to equip people to handle life challenges and demands. Knowledge of maternal and child has helped me to be a better mother. Therapeutic communication skills has taught me to be a better communicator. I am truly motivated with the understanding that I play a crucial role in the lives of the people that I serve. Something also that resonates from the talk of Dr. Elizabeth Iro, that I can create a ripple effect for the love of nursing through my students. Actually, I'm also motivated to belong to the most trustworthy global workforce. I also like sharing best practices in nursing and to be a part of a global network of professionals who make a difference in the world of healthcare. These are all a part of my motivation, aside from being able to network with international scholars to share best practices in nursing. What are the nursing challenges that I was able to see in my workforce? I actually see challenges in the workplace and in the community. And the three major demands to the nursing profession that I encounter at present are challenges in interprofessional collaboration, putting health into the hands of the people, and to develop programs for the future of child and adolescent health. Actually, our institution, along with me, has um, several has taken several steps to bring together a team and ensure interprofessional collaboration. In the country, the Manila, Philippines, where I am in, we are still quite traditional, having medical doctors as leaders in the healthcare profession. However, in our institution, we've started socializing healthcare professionals to an interprofessional collaboration. We are creating educational opportunities for healthcare providers to socialize together and be cognizant of the different roles that we play in the healthcare system. Also, we would like to facilitate or assist in providing potential solutions to the concern of putting health in the hands of the people. I've also helped with integrating community immersion in health education programs at the grassroots level. So we actually go to the communities and ensure that they are well informed and that they can empower themselves to better their health. You see, the Philippines is also largely a young population, and programs for the health of child and adolescent are um, are important, to ensure that the future of our country and of the world, will be bright. So we're focusing on the health of vulnerable and special population groups to ensure that we will be cared for by the next leaders of the country and of the world. With this daunting task, we actually also need to do some self-care. And for me, my self-care is enjoying the perks of sharing nursing research. I also see the world from a vantage point because of nursing. I've learned to journey with scholars, to do innovative practices in nursing. Also, I help with nursing the nurse, helping my colleagues because at times I see burnout as manifested by caring fatigue. And to assist nurses, I do offer protected time to do some psychosocial support. No, also to form support groups for nurses, take the time to lead in collaborations to improve mental and emotional well-being of nurses, especially after the pandemic when we really experience a lot of burnout. My satisfaction and energy in doing nursing is the ability to innovate and influence practice. No, we've always wanted to inspire people to be better, and innovative nursing interventions are quite important to showcase the role of nurses in the healthcare setting. We have the ability to influence people to be better. I do like nursing because I join endless learning opportunities, no? Because the healthcare is evolving. We should evolve with the times. And these are all learning opportunities for us. I'm also inspired by game changers in nursing, because we are now being highlighted because of the role that we play in the society, especially during the pandemic when we are heralded as heroes. In nursing education, I see the future using different modalities such as hybrid learning, the use of simulators, and many technology that can help aid our future nurses. For the nursing workforce, because we are still very much in demand globally, there will be opportunities for migration and cross-cultural exchange. And this is a good thing because sharing of best practices in nursing may not just work for one country, but also work for another. For us who dream of being global nursing leaders, I think together we can change lives and advance healthcare. And this is one of the Sigma maxims. And this is really quite important, no? To know that as a force, as a nursing workforce, we have the power to change lives and advance healthcare. Thank you for this opportunity again, Tess, and everyone.
Thank you, Pearl. And once again, we continue to hear what echoes from, Elizabeth and now to Pearl about, working with the people, really bringing that healthcare to the grassroots level and knowing what really matters for them and how we can best meet those gaps. So my apology, I thought Pearl was the fourth one, but now I'm going to have to go back. We'll have Jill Iliffe. Jill has served as, since 2008 as Executive Director of the Commonwealth Nurses and Midwives Federation, representing national nursing organizations of 53 Commonwealth nations. She has been awarded as member of the Order of Australia in the recent 2022 Australia Day honors for significant service to nursing through leadership roles with professional organizations. She has served as the National Secretary of the Australian Nursing and Midwifery Federation from 1999 to 2008. Her major achievements have included establishments of the National Aged Care Alliance, or NACA, lobbying for safe nurse and midwife staffing and skills mix across the clinical practice, coordination and active involvement in South Pacific Nurses Forum, and lobbying for the role of the Commonwealth Chief Nurse and other numerous campaigns that impacts both nursing and midwifery professions. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to hear through a video, Ms. Jill Iliffe.
Good morning. My name is Jill Iliffe. I currently work as the Executive Director of the Commonwealth Nurses and Midwives Federation, the CNMF, a position I've held since 2008. The CNMF is a federation of national nursing and midwifery organisations in Commonwealth countries, which aims to bring nurses and midwives in Commonwealth countries together, provide information and education, and positively influence policies at the Commonwealth level that impact on nurses and midwives. The title for this fourth Nurses' Voices speaker series really resonates for me. Concern, compassion, and commitment. As a young person, I didn't aspire to be a nurse. I didn't expect to fall in love with nursing, but that is what happened. I walked into my first ward and felt like I had come home, that this is where I was meant to be. I have never, ever regretted the decision to be a nurse and a midwife. Nursing has taught me so much. I have met people, been places, had so many amazing experiences, achieved so much, that would never have been possible with any other career. We have been asked to identify 3 challenges that face nursing and midwifery at the present time. For me, they are, firstly, how to retain the caring and compassion in nursing in an increasingly busy, challenging and complex environment. Caring and compassion is really important to patients and clients. We can attain the education and skill, but we must never lose the caring and compassion. Secondly, how to inspire young men and women to take up nursing and midwifery as a career. It is up to us to be role models for recruitment and then to be caring, compassionate and committed mentors. And lastly, how to find the time and energy to be advocates. There are so many terrible things happening in our world at the moment. Internal and external wars, extreme poverty, hunger and despair, millions of people displaced with nowhere to call home, extreme weather events, biodiversity loss, and the list goes on. Imagine if every nurse and midwife had the time, energy, and determination to be an advocate for peace, security, humanity, equity, and health for all. What a mighty force we would be. I have a number of principles that have guided me throughout my career and which have helped me through the happy and sad times, both professionally and personally, and I would like to share them with you. Firstly, make sure you have a strong foundation for whatever you do. Base your actions, comments, and inputs on inquiry and scientific fact. Search for the truth. Spend your life doing something you love. Life is too short to waste. Never stop learning. Learning is essential for growth. Be innovative and flexible. Be open to doing things differently. Take a risk and don't let failure defeat you. See failure as another way of learning. Maintain your sense of humour. And don't take yourself too seriously. Keep things in perspective. Sometimes it is all too easy to lose perspective. Life is very precious. The unexpected deaths of loved ones before their time has taught me how precious life is, and we need to treasure it and the people around us. Challenges are opportunities. Embrace every opportunity. Embracing opportunities have given me some of the most rewarding and interesting life experiences. And finally, sometimes the impossible is possible. You just have to give it a try. The WHO Global Strategic Directions for Nursing and Midwifery 21 to 25 and the policy priorities outlined for education, employment, leadership and service delivery is an excellent document, clearly outlining what needs to be done to maintain a dynamic nursing and midwifery workforce now and into the future. From a CNMF lens, achievements have been very patchy across Commonwealth countries. Some gains have been made, but not as many as could have been. It would be good to see formal partnerships at government level established between countries where a country with well-established nursing and midwifery educational, career and professional pathways can support another country to work toward that goal, not imposing their own structure on the other country, but sharing the knowledge gained by their own experience and helping to develop clear goals and pathway to achieve those goals. Across the world, we know what needs to be done and how to do it. What we need to make sure is that in striving for higher academic attainment and a greater leadership role within health service delivery and health service policy development, we do not lose that essential core of caring and compassion that is such a unique part of nurses and midwives. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Jill Iliffe. Such powerful principles that you have shared with us. Yes, being innovative, taking the risk. And we know that by having this event, we're taking that risk and we are exploring, what we can do to build it for the next future. So now we will have with us Dr. Sue Kim, who is a professor at Yonsei University College of Nursing and has served as the director of the World Health Organization Collaborating Center for Research and Training for Nursing Development in Primary Health Care, Yonsei University in Seoul, Korea, from 2013 to 2020. She's a women's health expert and qualitative researcher. Dr. Kim's area of research includes cancer survivorship, self-care, and family adjustment in women's cancers, maternal and women's health nursing. She's an active member of the national and international professional organization, including that of Sigma, and actually she is a Virginia Henderson Fellow. She is also the Korean Council of Science Editors and the Korean Psycho-Oncology Society, to just name a few of those, and serve as advisory roles for both government agencies, such as the Presidential Committee on Aging Society and Population Policy and the Korean Health Personnel Licensing Examination Institute. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Dr. Sue Kim.
Thank you so much, Tess, for that introduction. And I really want to say, well, first of all, hello from Korea to all of our colleagues across the world. And I really want to say that I enjoyed so much. It's not only an honor to be here, but your personal stories, the panel that had presented ahead of me, your wise insights and your positive energy are so contagious. And it's been really insightful to sit and just listen and absorb. I just prepared 2 brief slides to talk about concern, compassion, and commitment. I do teach and do research in my nursing role, but my mom was a nurse. And to me, from an early age, nursing meant to me a life work, a cutout, but a really noble nature. And I think it goes back to what Anna was saying about how do we uphold wholeness in the world that we live in and being interconnected. What Megumi was talking about, being a beam, it's such a privilege and a responsibility. And I think each of us, we don't say it lightly. We really know what it means to be on the front line when somebody is having a crisis in health or a family issue. And in this day and age of uncertainty, detachment, and polarization, I think each of us recognizes what a privilege it is to be there and at the present moment for the family that we encounter. For me, what are the major challenges in the workplace and community that I see or that I encounter? The year 2023 was a very tumultuous time for Korean nursing. And even with the support of ICN and the global nursing community to establish a Nursing Practice Act, which is already in place in more than 90 countries across the globe, it failed to pass legislature and it was denied access by the president of Korea. So the struggle to present nurses' voices and to gain the recognition that we do have relevance for our country and for our members, I think that was a real challenge that all of the nursing community in Korea really felt. We went to the streets in like the 100,000s and had several organized sessions to present how important nursing was. But despite all of that, it still did not pass. Elizabeth's words earlier on really encouraged me. She said that frustration fuels the drive for change, and she offered examples of her work in the global community. And I think although we did fail to pass that Nursing Act, it was great disappointment for us and for me as viewing the profession and teaching students. I think it also opened our eyes to how important having a generational dialogue is, especially within nursing. And so in this 4th session of the Nurses' Voices, it's really exciting to know that students' voices will also be present following our panel discussion. How am I responding and how are we responding to these challenges? As a qualitative researcher, I often talk about the difference between reflexivity and reflection, and they may be similar words. They always involve looking deeper, the inner process and inner work. But while reflection can be termed as just simply looking back, more often to gain some insight about what went wrong or what could be remedied. Reflexivity is more of an ongoing analysis of personal involvement, how I, as a person, as a nurse, have been affected, what I feel, not only what I think. So it really ties into the feelings and responses with my cognitive processes. It's a process of self-awareness and scrutiny, and hopefully when it's done right, it's not unidirectional, but it does engage others and offers a hand for them to speak so that together we can make the process ongoing, open, and transparent. So I think trying to practice reflexivity is an important part for me as a qualitative researcher. So trying to clarify the vision that I have for nurses, whether it be for the students that I see or the patients that I meet in my research process, and especially doing it through diverse nurses, like we're doing today. This session is so aptly titled Nurses' Voices. And to hear from the personal stories of so many nurses in different work roles and walks of life, I think is really powerful. At the same time, forging on with what each of us do in our own personal and professional roles. A famous saying by the German writer, Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, one of my favorites is he said, "Do not hurry, do not rest." So as we are supposed to never hurry and become impatient, we should never cease to hope and never cease to visualize what can be possible. So I think that gives us encouragement and also a double-edged sword of just continuing, forging along. Nursing the nurse was a third question that we were all posed with. How do I support colleagues? Again, this echoes what the previous speakers had talked about before me, but trying to be mindful and present when we're listening. And for me, often it involves what did I feel and what did it feel like when I was there as a student? I've been a patient as well. So as a patient or as a family member and as a colleague when I'm meeting junior research faculty, trying to be mindful and hearing their stories. And I think just being honest and recognizing and encouraging them that we can't do anything in silo, but it's not just you, but we've been there and we can do it together. And always be peacemakers and trying to forge unity is also a powerful way that we can, each of us can respond. For me, my personal satisfaction and energy that rekindles my love for nursing is revisiting why nursing and sharing those stories like you've been all doing with us tonight. And also, one of my favorite stories that I look for in one of the news outlets that I frequently listen to, they have a section called Unsung Heroes, and they very often feature nurses, stories from patients about nurses, and those are really lovely. So I like to collect them and share them with my students as well. So storytelling, as mentioned before, and as we're doing today in this series, I think is a really powerful way for all of us to rekindle our love and pass that flame. What is the future for nursing? The WHO strategic directions, as many of the panel members have mentioned ahead of me, I just want to mention too about education and leadership. One pinpoint from the framework for directions from the framework was about harmonizing with neighboring jurisdictions. And I think our struggle with the Nursing Act really highlighted that importance for us. It's not just within nursing that we have to raise our voice and just assume that everybody understands how important we are, but we have to do it with neighboring professionals and also with patient groups as well. As a teacher myself, I think designing effective learning, Pearl was also mentioning that. And Jill was mentioning how we need to keep things in perspective, but also be prepared to work with the times, the changing times. Better preparedness for primary health care, digital health, the big data era needs. Addressing mental health, I think, is an ongoing and pressing issue for all of us. And also specific population needs. Like for Korea and Japan, it's the super ultra aging population needs, but for other countries, it could be different specific populations. I think we could all try to do better jobs for that. I think we are still working with a very old model in nursing education, and we do need to get out of that. For leadership, increasing the proportion and authority of the nurses, and this involves not only visibility in healthcare, but I think visibility and proficiency across multiple areas of work. That could be community service, it could be scholarly publication, it could be ethics, you can name it in your area. And I think the future for nursing, I think it really belongs to the generation that will come after us. And we do have uncertainties, but I think we can have good faith that nursing will be handed down for future generations as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kim. Yes, indeed, never cease hope. That is very, very, important, as we move forward and build into our next generation of nurses as well. Now, we move into our next speaker, Dr. Nelia Silloriquez, who serves as one of the faculties of nursing in media and communication at West Visayas State University in the Philippines. Her recent publication for the International Journal of Innovation, Creativity, and Change features a phenomenological study aimed to understand the lived experiences of practicing nurses about workplace violence and bullying into tertiary hospital settings. She was also present last year when she collaborated with us together with Dr. Giljergan as well during the Nightingale Initiative for Global Health when we were all at COS Switzerland. Dr. Silloriquez.
Thank you, Tess. And I would like to say good evening. It's 11 o'clock, 11:15 here in the Philippines. Good afternoon and good morning, fellow nurses everywhere. So in our place, we say mabuhay, and I would just like to say thank you for having me here in this as part of the session number 4 of the Nice Nurses Voices in the Western Pacific. I will be talking about the academe primarily. I am Nelia Silloriquez, and I am a faculty professor of the West Visayas State University College of Nursing. In my workplace, we have a very solid reputation of giving quality nursing education in the country today, being awarded as the Center of Development by the Commission of Higher Education made the college the only center of development in Western Visayas. So the College of Nursing has continually provided BSN program and meets academic standards as evidenced by consistent exemplary performance in the Philippine Nurses Licensure Examination. The college was awarded by the Philippine Regulation Commission and Professional Regulatory Board of Nursing for having ranked first among the top performing nursing schools in the country and having garnered 100% passing rate with 19 top-notchers in the list of qualifiers. So as a state university, it increasingly endeavors for high performance in its trifocal functions. Each faculty member should have a contribution for these trifocal functions, which are instruction, research and extension, or community service, which aim toward producing research-oriented leaders and professionals in the fields of sciences, health, education, technology, governance, communication and arts, and the humanities. So as the college being a center of development, it continues to uphold its tradition of excellence, committed to develop professional nurses capable of providing safe, humane, quality, and holistic care. And this supports the WHO 2021-2025 strategic directions for nurses to have requisite knowledge, competencies, attitudes to meet the national health priorities. During the COVID-19 pandemic, 100% of the nursing courses rather utilized blended modality approach and combines traditional face-to-face method with online-based instruction. So blended learning allows our nursing students to progress at their own pace, while we clinical instructors can correct their skills during actual skills enhancement classes. So to maintain this quality of education while promoting wellness among faculty members, faculty development programs like capability building activities strengthens their skills and competencies that sustain the performance and the standards of nursing education. The year 2023 was a year of triumph. We efficaciously hurdle challenges in the transition of online to face-to-face delivery of instruction. Well, perseverance has been the driving force, and alongside maintain a healthy state of mind and body, a positive approach for attainment of the goals for the college. It is our pride and honor to have a leading researcher as member of the faculty who was recognized as the top 50 scientist in the country in the person of Dr. Ryan Michael Oducado. During Toward Research University, our drive for research is leaving an imprint to both the faculty and the student, making researches that is recognized and receive awards in the national and international arena. How do we optimize excellence in nursing and bring our students the best for the Filipino people and the choice of the world? Well, our best practice for instruction is optimizing its excellence. And how do we do this? We have a strong admission and retention policy in the college, a balance of theoretical knowledge and hands-on related clinical experience with integration of technology for learning. We have qualified faculty members that are disciplined, trained, updated, and engaged in research and extension projects. A strong faculty development program, a very good alumni support, and an active involvement in the Parent-Teacher Association strengthens the tradition of excellence in the college. These are some of the challenges we are now facing actually. Retention of qualified faculty members. Some of our faculty are opting to leave the country and go abroad for better income. So during the period where faculty members are limited in number and excessive workload were given, burnout were also experienced. Our opportunities would include, in the academic side, is to strengthen the development activity or the developmental faculty development activity in order to cater also to the faculty personnel and professional growth, as well as facilitate their study leave for them to earn and finish their degree. Onboarding is what we are doing now in the college of the newly hired faculty with continuous training for teaching and learning effectiveness as part of our target. Well, as a nurse educator, my friends will always ask me, it must be distressing and tiring at the same time. I struggle to explain. Why? Because I believe nursing has given me the opportunity to master technical skills, achieve a degree of maturity as a person, come to
Sorry, Nelia, you've somehow become muted.
You're muted.
Sorry, Nelia,
Yeah.
are you
Nelia?
able to unmute?
Can you unmute yourself? Suddenly you became,
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there.
we couldn't hear
Thank
you.
trying to bug down. I have to be in a hurry. So let me just do this. As a nurse educator, my friends always ask me this question. It must be distressing and tiring at the same time on my part. As a 65-year-old, almost to retire, I struggle to explain. But because I believe nursing has given me the opportunity to master technical skills, achieve a degree of maturity as a person, come to terms with my own emotional vulnerability, and above all, to work with other men and women who, in my experience, have been generous and devoted friends and extraordinarily accomplished practitioners of our profession. So to close, I would like to acknowledge our Dean who's present with us this evening, the Dean of the College of Nursing, Dr. Madonna Palmas. Our students have stayed late tonight because tomorrow they still have their duty. Faculty members also and alumni who are with us this evening. So this is Nurse Nelia. I find nursing as inspiring, challenging, and endlessly fascinating. Thank you for hearing our voices. And by the way, happy Valentine's, everyone. In 30 minutes, it's Feb 14. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Really, truly endless possibilities. Now, we're going to change a little bit our order. Right now, we would like to call on our presenter for the SNAP, the Student Nurses Association of the Philippines and West Visayas State University. And this will be led by, just a minute, by Lara Nicole Teologo, who is the executive chairperson of the West Visayas State University Student Nurses Association Council. She will be presenting the perspective of the student body and also what they have done in alignment with the Sustainable Development Goals. Thank you, Lara. And then after that, we're going to have the declaration and we'll have the Q&A. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Dr. Panizales, for this invaluable opportunity to share our organization with such an esteemed audience. I am deeply grateful. So my name is Lara Nicole Chalaga, and I am humbled to serve as the current chairperson of the Student Nurses Association of the Philippines, WVSU chapter. Since our establishment in 1987, our organization has remained unwavering in its dedication to fostering volunteerism and community service among nursing students. This commitment forms the bedrock of our collective ethos. Over the past year, we have undertaken a multitude of initiatives aimed at both enriching our student body and uplifting communities, from participating in coastal cleanups to organizing vital medical missions. Our organization has remained steadfast in its pursuit of meaningful engagement even amidst our demanding academic schedules. We are truly inspired by the opportunity to showcase our organization on a global platform, demonstrating that the youth are not only the future of nursing, but also vital contributors to the betterment of society. As our esteemed advisor often reminds us, we are blessed with 24 hours each day. What then is 1 hour dedicated to the service of our community? Thank you. Sir Francesco, can we please have our video presented? Thank you.
Yep, I'm just pulling up the video. 1 second.
Thank you so much, Lara. It's such a powerful testament of what our students can do. And from that point, do more, as you get into being our future nurses, professional nurses at that point. And I would like to thank your co-advisor, Virgie Federica, and of course, Dr. Rodolfo Gilliargan, together with Dean Madonna Palmas, for allowing you guys to stay up late, and I know you have classes tomorrow or clinicals, just like we used to do. And you guys, really rock, if I should say that. Now we will have our declaration, a Nightingale declaration. So that will be led by Dr. Rodolfo Gilliargan, who is a professor at West Visayas State University, College of Nursing, and also she was a class ahead of me, if I should say that. And we also have Lara Nicole Teologo to be able to speak, the Tagalog version, if that is the order that you should, you want to take. All right, so Francesco, to you on the declaration, then we'll have our Q&A.
Okay. Nightingale Declaration for a Healthy World.
Pagpapahayag ni Nightingale para sa kalusugan ng mundo.
We, the nurses and concerned citizens of the global community,
Kami, mga nurse ay nag-aalalang mamamayan ng pandaigdigang komunidad,
hereby dedicate ourselves to achieve a healthy world.
Ay naglaan ng aming sarili upang makamit ang isang malusog na mundo.
We declare our willingness to unite in programs of action.
Ipinahahayag namin ang aming kusang pakikipag-isa sa isinaid na programang pangkilusan.
To share information and solutions and improve health conditions.
Pagpabahagi ng kaalaman at kalutasan sa ikabubuti ng kalagayan.
For all humanity, locally, nationally, and globally.
Ng kalusugan sa buong sangkatauhan, sa lokal, pambansa at pandaigdigan.
We further resolve to adopt personal practices.
Aming ipinagpasya ang pakikipag-ugali na sundin ang mga personal na kasanayan.
And to implement public policies in our communities and nations.
At ipatupad ang mga pampublikong patakaran sa aming komunidad at bansa.
Making this goal achievable and inevitable.
Para ang layunin ay makamit at hindi maiwasan.
Beginning today in our own lives.
Simula ngayon sa ating sariling buhay.
In the life of our nations.
Sa buhay ng ating mga bansa.
And in the world at large.
At para sa buong mundo.
Florence Nightingale, what did she say to us? We are only on the threshold of nursing. In the future, which I shall not see, for I am old, may a better way be opened. May we hope that when we are all dead and gone, leaders will arise who have been personally experienced in the hard, practical work, the difficulties and the joys of organizing nursing reforms, and who will lead far beyond anything we have done. Please join us with your voice.
Mangyaring sumali sa pamamagitan ng iyong pagpapahayag.
Thank you so much. Now we are open for our Q&A. We have a few minutes, Francesco, right?
Yeah, we can go for the Q&A for a couple of minutes. If anyone has any questions, please just drop them in the Q&A.
Any questions? Let's see, I'm trying to check if you have anything on the chat. Well, someone chimed in on why nursing. When I enrolled in the college to take up nursing, I was fascinated by the white uniform, but it was more than that. It dawned on me the kind of service we are giving to our patients. So we are serving humanity, and I'm more than willing. Oh, that's you. Thank you so much, Dr. Gilliargan. We are serving humanity, and I'm more than willing to help and be part of the noblest profession. Thank you for sharing your insight. Do we have any other questions? Or any
There's
other
a couple that
insights
just came in
from... Perfect.
There's a
Perfect.
yeah, they
Thank
just
you.
came in from the Q&A.
And one of our board of directors, Ilya. Welcome, Ilya. Thank you for joining us. Is it possible to summarize all the recommendations into a qualitative study paper? Definitely. That is exactly the intent of what we're doing for the speaker series, for the whole events, to be able to come up with a white paper. And we have Dr. Lias's comment as well. Excellent presentation. Thank you all. Through the years, we have concentrated in educating students, the quote unquote doing part of nursing. I'm interested in knowing what efforts are being made to highlight the need for caring science to guide nursing education. I would like to throw that to our panelists for their insights. And I know that Dr. Dosi is also online, and as well as Diva, and please feel free to respond.
Well, Barbie Dossi here. I'm in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and I just want to say it's just been absolutely remarkable. And Anna, thank you so much for setting the stage for who am I. And when we look at who we are inside and then outside, what are our actions, the relational self, who are we together, what we're seeing here in this marvelous. And then when we look at our worldly self, what is it that we can design and accomplish together? Thank you so much. And I love nursing like all of you. Thank you.
See, we got from Sharon Lacan King. Good day, colleagues. I'm enlightened by the presentation so far and the music video and identity. However, I must leave now. Okay, blessed day to everyone. Thank you so much. Right, so it seems like we don't have any other questions. And okay, so if that is the case, I just would like to briefly, I know it's already 10:38, and I know our students, it's past your bedtime. And I just would like to share this. Ralph Waldo Emerson, excerpt, from Success. To laugh off often and much, to win the respect of intelligent people and the affection of children, to earn the appreciation of honest critics, and endure the betrayal of false friends, to appreciate beauty, to find the best in others, to leave the world a bit better, whether by a healthy child, a garden patch, or a redeemed social condition, to know even one life has breathed easier because you have lived. This is what it is to have succeeded. And you all are part of that. Thank you for nursing. And our next moderator for session 5 is Dr. Falakshi Manjikar, Director of Nurses at PD Hinduja Hospital and Medical Research Center in Mumbai. And I would like to acknowledge our NAI Board of Directors, big team, Unit RC York at York University, Integrative Nurse Coach Academy, the Global Academy for Holistic Nursing. Thank you so much for being part of this wonderful and just moving forward work. And we know we have a lot more. And Lara, thank you for your team.
Thank you so much, Doc. Thank you so much, everyone.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. I would just like to echo my thanks as well. Thank you, Dr. Tess, for moderating today's session. Thank you, as always, to Dr. Deva and Dr. Barbara for helping put together such a great series. And thank you, of course, to all of our speakers for their presentations and for their talks. It was very informative, and it was just great hearing everybody's perspective and everybody's experience. And of course, thank you to our audience for being here and for supporting the series and for supporting this session as well. And just as Tess mentioned, the next session will be moderated by Dr. Falakshi Manjrekar. It will be Nurses' Voices from Southeast Asia, which will be taking place on Tuesday, March 12th, at the same time as today's session, so 9 a.m. Eastern Time. So just a reminder to anybody who's interested in that session to mark it on their calendar. Share the series with anyone who you know that might be interested in your network. Registration is still open for that session and for all of the sessions that are still to come. So with that, just one last big thank you to everybody. It was a great session, and I hope everybody has a great day.